Hi, my co-reporters. Welcome back to my channel. Did you guys see how I was on time? Like literally on time. As soon as the clock struck, so for me, it's 11. What time is it for you guys? 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Here I was, but then I had to do the timer twice just to give myself a little extra time for something I forgot to do. So guys, thank you all so much for being here. Please, you know the drill, right? Let me know where you are watching from. I love knowing how global our audience is. Cynthia, I'm so sad you're going to be missing out for your meeting. Hi everybody. Hi. I saw someone earlier say that they were here. Oh, here it is. It's Destiny. She's watching from Australia. Shannon Van, we know where she's watching from. I just did a recap of Vanderpump Rules on Shannon Van's channel with Jason, down with Jason. If you guys are interested, if you missed out, you want to catch it, make sure to head over to Shan and Jan's channel. So you guys, last night, what happened? We got an episode, second episode of Teen Mom family reunion. And I'm kind of curious what you guys think about it. Like, how would you rate the episode on a scale of 1 to 10? And then not only that, do you think this show has enough legs to go forward for a season 2, like as they shake up the cast and everything like that? I personally would rate the episode on a scale of 1 to 10. I would have rated it like a 5.5 or a 6. I found it to be a little bit lackluster. Ooh, Matt says that he would rate the series a 9 for yesterday's episode. Oh, okay. Hi, Serena. Okay. Thanks, Made in Asia. Okay, so you guys, what are you thinking? What would you rate that episode? California, Dallas, Texas, Brisbane, Raleigh, North Carolina, Western New York. I saw Ottawa, but not from Canada. I see Ontario, New Jersey, California, the Bahamas. I'm so jealous of you. Oh my God, Shortney, the weather over there. Oh my God, I'm jealous. Okay, you guys, let's jump into this recap, okay? Are you ready? So we pick back up where the drama, the big blowout fight was going on between Jade and Ashley. Jade is still trying very hard to look hard for the cameras, and I found it to be cringeworthy. You know, Jade is not this type of girl. She is not about this life, and it just looks weird, you know? And not only that, but Jade and Ashley are both mothers. So for them to be acting like this on camera, to me, it's shameful and it's an embarrassment to their children. And I don't see anything cute or respectable or whatever about it. I really wish that they would have just kind of like thought about it before they started acting like this, because it was not a good look. I know they think it was a good look. I know they think it was cute, but no, they did way too damn much. Sidebar, Jade, that neck and chin lipo, the neck, whatever it was, look at that, you guys. Look at the results. She looks amazing. Amazing. She is a great advertisement for her doctor. I never even really knew about this procedure. Like, I vaguely heard about it, but now I'm like, what is this? I have to do a little bit more digging into this if these are the results that you can expect to receive, because doesn't she look incredible, you guys? Now, when we get into the drama that they're going on between the two of them, we see Ashley talking to the life coach, Cheyenne. And, you know, she's kind of like, listen, yeah, I know that I need to work on not being reactive and blah, blah. And then on the other side, Brianna and Cheyenne, the other Cheyenne, are coaching Jade. They're like, listen, Ashley looks like, you know, whatever. She's chill. She's whatever. And you're the one who's bothered and pressed by her. You've got to stop acting like this. You can't be screaming like this because you look dumb. And Brianna, of all people, would know, right? Because Kale had her looking hella dumb a couple of reunions ago on Teen Mom 2. Remember when Kale was antagonizing her backstage about getting with Javi, and then Brianna was meek. And then as soon as they get on stage, Brianna wants to act all hard, the same way Jade wants to pretend she's hard. And then Brianna wound up looking stupid instead of Kale, who was the person who was starting all of this drama. The funny thing is, a second ago, Ashley's like, yeah, like I acknowledge that I'm reactive and I need to work on not being reactive. But then guess what she does when Jade antagonizes her again? She starts running over there, reacting in big capital letters. You know, I can't, you guys. I absolutely can't. I really was not a fan of that fight, but I love like irony and stuff like that in people, right? I love when people are not self-aware. To me, that's exciting. To me, that is juicy. To me, that is scandalous. So I really love the way that she just tried to run over there after talking about, needing to be, less reactive. But one thing's for sure, Jade, she really thought she was dissing Ashley when she called her a skinny bitch, talking about you're 80 pounds or whatever. Honestly, if someone wanted to fight me and they called me a skinny bitch and claimed that I weighed 80 pounds, sis, I would be I would be running over there to hug her. Like, girl, you really think I'm 80 pounds? Thank you. Thank you. Why are we fighting, girl? Like, I like you. This is not a diss, Jade. I don't know. Maybe it is in some circles, but in the circles I run in, telling someone there's a skinny bitch, telling them that they're 80 pounds, it's like, no, girl, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of you guys feel the same way. Yes, like, come give me a hug. I knew I liked you. I knew I liked you, girl. We are just lost in translation here. And so one thing I have to say, I know I was telling y'all that I love the results of Jade's plastic surgery procedures, but here you go. Why is she threatening people with a fight knowing that she's still in recovery? You don't pay all that money, go through all that pain just to go around fighting people. It does not make sense. And at that point, it had only been like a couple of months since Jade had gotten like, the BBL and all the other lipo, the chin neck, whatever lipo. So fighting is not in her best interest. So it was very obvious outside of the forced vocabulary, which we're going to get to in a minute, that she was not really looking for a fight. She just wanted to act like she was looking for a fight so that she would look cool on the show, even though she looked like a fool. Because listen, at the end of the day, that is somebody's mama talking, about come over here so I could fight you. Let's scrap, blah, 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 and whatnot. Like, it is just not a good look. I drag you on everything I love. Like, who even talks like this? This is so cringe to me. Okay. Now, speaking of like the forced language, did you guys notice that the way Jade was speaking to Ashley? I don't know, y'all. Something about it rubbed me the wrong way. I felt like Jade was really leaning heavily into the AAVE, which is African American vernacular. And I don't know, that rubs me the wrong way. Sometimes I don't know. I don't know. Like, right here when she's talking about please talk to me nice, bitch. What does that even mean? Like, what does that even mean? Like, I guess this is something that is said in AAVE that I'm not aware of, which I don't know. And then the whole I'll drag you on everything I love and just all of this stuff, like, it just felt very, very forced the way that Jade was speaking to Ashley. And I feel like if she was in a fight with the other girls, like if she was in a fight with a Macy, with Aaliyah, I don't believe that she would have been speaking this way. So for that reason, I felt a little bit of the ick watching her speak that way. So I'm kind of curious about how you guys felt about it. By the way, Allison says the episode was a 2. Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, it's not giving what it's supposed to give. I know for a really long time, people were saying that, we should have like a Big Brother style of show with the Teen Mom girls, put them all together in some way. But I don't know. The girls are just not that interesting. And that's why the ratings for their shows are just not popping. They're not interesting. They're not interesting. Like, right, Emerald, what does talk to me nice mean in this situation when you were fighting with someone? What does that mean? I feel like I heard talk to me nice like in a song before once, but I've never really heard anyone really saying that to people. It's just, it's a little bit weird. So Ashley says she spit her water out because it was so bad. Yes, you guys, it's weird. It is absolutely weird. So after all of this drama goes down, let me just put this cringeworthy statement up one more time to bring you guys the same level of pain I felt. It was like a bit too much for me. So next up, right after all of this drama unfolds, all of the girls have to do a team building activity. They go to the lake and they play around with kayaks. So they're put into teams of 2. And then one person has to steer, like tell the person how to do it. And then the other person has to do the action. And so Macy, being messy, which we love, it's reality TV, we need mess. She decides to pair Ashley and Jade after they just had that big blowout argument. And Ashley and Jade, honestly, they just proved that they're not about that life at all. They didn't even try to say, no, I absolutely refuse to do it. They just go over there. And it just made them both look like posers. Like, you guys are acting all hard, running around screaming like you would actually pop each other. And a couple of hours later, what happens? You're just standing there like freaking frack, just like nothing. You don't even try to say, I'm not doing this, I'm walking away, or anything like that. They didn't give us any drama. So to me, it just really showed how, like, not about that life either of these girls are. And to me, they kind of both look like clowns. Yeah, you don't have to run around and fight each other every time you see each other, but you got to at least say, listen, I'm not comfortable being around this girl. I don't like this girl, and I'm not going to do it if I'm, because they have the right to do that, right? At the end of the day, you don't have to do it if you don't want to do it. And they could not even say that, right? So they did just look like posers who were just doing the most the other night, for a little bit of camera time. So can we get into this scene? What is wrong with this scene, you guys? What is wrong with this scene? I have to say, let me figure out how I'm going to say this, okay? Let me have some water to think. But first of all, was it Amber who decided to put Macy and Gary together for the thing? Like, does Amber hate Macy and she wanted to drown her or something? I don't know. When they said that they were going to put Macy together with Gary on a kayak, I was like, that's a little strange, because I have a funny story for you guys. When I went back to Canada in the summer, I was playing at the park with my nephew, and I love seesaws. I usually do it with my friends who are like my age, my size, or whatever size, but like my age, like more close in size to me than like a 7-year-old child. So I go on the seesaw with my nephew, and I'm just trying to get on like nice and gently so I don't fling him across like over me. That's what I was worried would happen when they would pair the two of them together. I feel like, maybe like maybe a Cheyenne, maybe like an Amber, maybe like a Jade, maybe like a Chow, maybe like a Brittany, anybody but Macy. I felt like this was a bit extreme of a difference to put on together. And if you guys even notice on the boat, it kind of looks like on the back end there, it was sinking a little bit. So I was like, that one probably should have been run by somebody before they actually went ahead with that, because I actually did think that that was at least a little bit dangerous. But I digress. Did you guys catch this comment from Cheyenne when it came to that? Because I didn't even catch it until the rewatch. Cheyenne's like, Macy is one strong ass bitch, right? Because she was the one steering this boat, this kayak along all by herself. And then, as you can see over there in the back, Bar and what's that other guy's name? Zach. They flipped their kayak over, and then the other two flipped their kayak over as well, which was Chow and Brittany. So Macy and Gary actually did end up winning this challenge, which honestly to me seemed like the most unlikely pairing of all. But you know what? Hats off to Macy. She really is a competitor. She was not lying when she said that she was competitive about kayak and that she had been doing it like forever. I was actually really nervous whenever people would flip their kayaks. I thought like they might get stuck by accident or like, inhale some water or something. So I'm really happy that everyone made it out. And one thing that's kind of funny, let me put the photo back up so you can see the background. One thing that was kind of funny to me was that when Bar and Zach flipped over their kayak, they decided to just get on top of it and try to like pedal it the way over, to the finish line and stuff. They were not quitting. And I thought that it was quite cute, good for them, just having a good time. So it was nice to see the people do that sort of like a team building or like, what do you call it? Morale boosting exercise. So after Kayak Gate, the group of girls all comes back together. This is where I want to ask you guys a little bit of a question. How do you feel about like the mix of just a group of girls and then they're like friends and stuff? It's kind of odd to me, right? It's nice to see them all get together to do stuff like this kayaking and you see the extras and whatnot. But then when it comes to the actual other stuff, like the real nitty gritty, the other people are never there. How do you guys feel about it? I'm kind of on the fence. On the one hand, I kind of feel like it would have been nice to just have the girls alone But on the other hand, like I get it. Like they need someone to help them de-stress and stuff or to vent after like all of this drama kind of goes down in the background and whatnot. So I don't know how I feel about it. It just feels a little bit disjointed in some respects as well. But I don't know. I see some of you guys are saying that you're waiting for Devon and stuff like that. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I do have to say that I am looking forward to seeing Leah's boyfriend join as well. So that's going to be nice. And Matt, on the other hand, forgot Leah was even there. So that's kind of funny. But yeah. So when they're all kind of seated together, Jade decides to take the opportunity to apologize to the group for her attention seeking antics. But she doesn't directly apologize to Pouty McGee on the right. Pouty McGee being Ashley. Ashley was very, very mopey here. Actually, you could tell she's very young, and it's nothing against her, but just like her reactions to stuff and the way that she handles herself, you could just tell that she's young and she just needs more time to kind of like, get up to speed and mature and stuff, which is normal, right? Like everything kind of comes with age for all of us, myself included. But yeah, she was looking a little bit childish like in this scene. But I did agree with her when she was like, why is Jade apologizing to the group when she should be apologizing to me? I'm the one that she was trying to attack. Like, what is this about? Destiny and Sabrina are looking forward to Farah. That I'm looking forward to. I actually thought she was going to be coming this week, but listen, she's just such a big draw to this Teen Mom franchise that they're like teasing it as long as possible, I believe. So yeah, Ashley's not happy that Jade did not apologize to her directly, and that I completely understand. And then what happens next? Oh my god. Okay, before we even get to this eye roll inducing exercise that they all do, listen, if you're enjoying this live stream, please, please, please make sure to give the video a thumbs up so that my videos continue to pop up in your algorithm, because sometimes they don't pop up, or you don't get notified or this or that. But they need to know that you're engaged with the content. That way they continue to resurface on your homepage and all of that. So that would be very much appreciated. Number two, a little bit of a sidebar. Kaylin Lowry on her Baby Mamas No Dramas podcast episode this week. Oh, she was talking mad crap about Joe. Well, no, she wasn't. She was low-key talking crap about Joe and shading him in front of his wife, V, who was just sitting there, not defending her husband in any way, shape, or form. I really want to talk about that. And then what else happened? She talked about how she wanted to get a nose job and how she's currently going through consultations and stuff like that with a doctor to get a nose job and maybe a boob job and this and that. So I'm going to be talking about all of those with my channel members, otherwise known as premium co-reporters. I've pinned a comment so that, if you're interested in signing up for the members only chat, you would be able to do that through the link and then join us for our chat tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly what time we're going to be doing that tomorrow because I got a full schedule, but I will be announcing that for tomorrow. So keep an eye out. Now, let's get into this eye roll inducing exercise. So the life coach asked them all to just say something about themselves, and then everybody else, if they resonate with it, they can stand up. If not, they stay their ass seated. Okay. I don't like these kinds of exercises. You know what it reminds me of? Like when on the Housewives of Beverly Hills or whatever, or Housewives in general, they go around like complimenting each other, give one thing that you admire about each other or one thing you dislike or whatever. And they always just like have to like fluff it up so much. You know what I mean? And it's just so fake. That's how I felt about this exercise. Okay. And I got to say, for once, Macy is the one bringing the heat and bringing the juice. Thank God for that, because otherwise I would have just rolled my eyes clean out of my head. Okay, so let me just take this out for a second so I can thank JT. Thank you so much for the super chat, JT. JT says, hey, Grace, I'm sending love from the States. Hola, yay, thank you. Plus, it's like you got Jade, aka Jessie Nelson from Little Mix versus Ashley, aka Tiana Taylor. You know what? Jade does seriously look like Jessie Nelson from Little Mix, and it truly is a battle royale that could have happened, but those girls are so fake. They were not about that life at all. Thank you so much for the support. So Cheyenne kicks things off by saying, I'm a giver. And then all of the girls get up and then they all start talking about how they are givers and how they fill all the time until their cup is empty and they're so thirsty and they're just so heroic to everybody in their lives. Okay. What was next? Who came up after Cheyenne? Can you guys please refresh my memory on this? Because the next one was equally eye roll inducing. I think someone else goes, I'm strong. Then they all get up, I'm strong too. The stuff I've been through, if I wasn't strong, I would have. Like this kind of stuff. And then Amber's like, I mean, not Amber, Macy's like, all right, let's get this party going. Boom, Amber, I'm a good mom. And so everybody gets up with the exception of Kung Fu Portwood, okay? Kung Fu Portwood knows exactly who she is, what she is in this very moment, which I gotta say I respect and I admire, because you gotta be honest with yourself sometimes, okay? Listen, if they said I'm a good swimmer, I would have just sat over there too, right? So you can't just lie. And I really like that she was being real and being honest, even if it's humiliating, even if it's embarrassing, even if it sucks to admit this, right? She was being real. But the other girls were like, Amber, come on, stand up. You got to stand up. Come on, you guys. And look at Macy. Macy, do you even look serious when you're telling Amber to stand up? You look like you are trying to chuckle under your breath. Okay. Like, oh God, I don't know why I'm saying this. I'm trying to be a good friend. So I'm going to pretend that I believe that you're a good mom or whatever. So I'm going to try to encourage you. Stop. She's not. And it's okay for Amber to sit this one out and be honest with herself for the sake of her daughter. Leah, if her own child keeps saying every single week on their show that Amber was not a good mom to her, Amber made her feel worthless, Amber made her feel like this, Amber made her feel like that, who do you think you are? As some random chick from Tennessee, you don't even live in the same state as her. You rarely even see her, you only see her for these reunions and these whatever commitments you have for the show. Who are you to speak over her own child's experience and claim that this woman is a good mom? You know what I mean? Stop. Leah has a voice, and Leah has used her voice to very clearly, incredibly clearly state that Amber was not a good mother to her. So for Amber to sit there and, acknowledge that and not stand up when everyone else is standing up and patting themselves on the back, I think that is awesome. Okay. And I'm proud of Amber for sitting down and facing the facts and being very honest and actually talking about what she wanted to do in order to change that. She's talking about wanting to go to therapy and this and that. That's great. And if she sticks with that and all of that, that would be amazing. So it's good that she's saying right now, I can't say that, but this is what I want to do to change it. So Amber talks about how she's let her anger take, get the best of her throughout her life. And then we get these this flashback scene that was quite disturbing where Gary is pissed at Amber because Amber keeps yelling at their daughter, Leah, who was 2 years old at the time. And Amber is like, oh, well, you got to start smacking her and stuff. Like, that was gross. Okay. So I'm happy that this popped back up and they were able to kind of acknowledge it. One thing I noticed was a little bit of the shady camera situation going on because Amber's talking about, her being angry throughout her life. Then she turns and starts talking about how she was an addict. The camera turns around and pans to Leah. And then she talks about, going to jail for fighting. Then they turn around and pan to Ashley. Ashley has not been in jail for fighting, of course, but Ashley does a lot of fighting, on that Young and Pregnant. And, she was trying to fight with Jade earlier. Well, listen, she was responding to Jade trying to fight with her. Let me correct myself there. So the camera people were being a little bit shady there. And I appreciate shady camera people. So then next she's, this is the part that I love the most actually about what it was that Amber was saying. She gets really introspective here. She's like, the first time I got in trouble with the law about my anger issues and this violence and this and that, it was right after I had, my first child, Leah. And then she's like, and then 10 years later, I'm in the exact same situation again. So it's like, why is it that every time I have a child, I get into this kind of a situation? What did you guys think about that? It actually made me start wondering about Amber's postpartum issues. Of the women, you don't really hear too much about postpartum. I hear it from Kate. I think I've heard about it maybe from Macy or one or two other people, but you don't really hear about it that much. So it started making me wonder a little bit about Amber's postpartum issues. I started wondering did she have to get off of the meds and stuff, throughout the pregnancies and then while she's breastfeeding and stuff? Is that like, and then you guys already know she's got like a host of mental illnesses. So is that like all just throwing her all out of whack as the hormones and stuff are like happening and it's just making things worse? And then of course she already has that anger issue on top of everything. Is just not a good recipe for her. And so, maybe she's just one of those people that can't really handle pregnancy and postpartum and stuff like that. Like you do hear stories about that really changing people for the worse, sometimes some women for the worse. So it made me kind of sad for her in that respect. I remember someone telling me about how he had like a girlfriend who was like very normal and stuff, and like they were dating for a while, and then they had a kid, and then just like she kind of changed completely, like her hormones and like her brain chemistry just went completely south after having that kid. And like she started having mental health issues, crises and stuff like that. She's admitted to the hospital a couple of times, and just it caused her a mental break. So it was quite sad, and I started wondering about that when it comes to Amber. Did you guys wonder about? Oh yes, thank you, Abby. Chelsea did talk about postpartum anxiety as well. Ramster, hi. Ramster was here earlier for a stream. I think it was a stream I had with Alita a little bit earlier. Women with shoes are underrated, from pregnancies to postpartum to PMS and menstruation, menopause. It is. It absolutely is. And you know what I have to say when it comes to women's issues being underrated? It's so frustrating right now with I don't even want to get into the vaccine situation because I am so pro it and I'm about to get my third one, but that really does change a lot of PMS, menstruation and stuff like that for women. I experienced it. A lot of people I know experienced it. Women I know experienced it, but it just keeps getting brushed off. You know what I mean? As, oh, it's not enough. It's not enough. No, it's normal, whatever. It's just, it feels like women are never really heard when it comes to these sorts of things. And it's sad, but that's not anything against the vax. I'm still about to get my third one. Let's get rid of COVID, y'all. So next up, Macy and Brianna go ahead and sit down with Gary. They win a picnic lunch because they were part of the winning teams or whatever. And so Macy decides to tell Gary about what went down with Amber not getting up to claim that she's a good mother and everything. And Gary's like, oh, really? Oh, no. Huh? And you can tell in his face, he's like, good. I'm glad she's not out here lying, because we all know she ain't SHIT, right? So that was interesting. I don't know how I felt about this conversation, you guys. I kind of felt like it was kind of weird how Brianna was trying to push the whole Leah doing therapy with the Amber thing. It's like, Brianna, you're not even on the same show as these people. So you have like no dog in this fight. So that was odd. I liked though that Macy kind of like spoke up and was like, when it comes to Bentley and Ryan, I know that like Ryan wanted to do like therapy together, but like the therapist we've got for Bentley is like, no, we're not going to jump right into that. It's not the greatest idea. We start with individual, then work our way towards that. And so I feel like that kind of helped Gary in that situation fight off Brianna's like advice. Like, Brianna, I don't know, parenting advice from Brianna. Like, girl, didn't you get knocked up like in a club bathroom or something like that by the DJ? Like, Brianna, really? I don't know. It was nice that Gary really wanted to just maintain the boundaries. He's like, Leah wants one thing, Amber wants another. And then they kind of do a flashback to, remember that cringy video that Amber sent Leah where she's like crying, like, I'm sorry if I wasn't there for you, but I've tried my best, blah, 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 with the fake tears. Like, she didn't even push out a tear. And Leah, our brilliant Leah, called it fake. She called the tears fake and everything, right? So I'm glad that Gary honored her boundaries. And again, I'm glad that Macy spoke up and said, listen, even when it comes to my child and all that, his therapist said too that it's not a good idea to jump right into that. Yes, Leah DTV, absolutely. Brianna needs her own therapist. Yes. Because how is she always ending up in the situations that she's ending up if she doesn't need a therapist? She seriously needs one. Now, next up, Brianna. Oh my God. Speaking of fake, all of these girls, Brianna, Ashley, and Jade, they're all so fake and for the cameras. Like it's like nothing happened all of a sudden. So Brianna next wants to sit down and talk to Ashley. And Ashley is like just the most defeated person ever, right? Like she's just sitting there like listening and stuff. Like they really beat the poor girl down. And it just reminds you of how young this girl is. I think Ashley is the youngest or one of the youngest of the group. She's one of those young and pregnant girls who are younger than the even the Teen Mom 3 girls, right? So it's like, damn, like you girls really try to like bully this young chick like who was trying to apologize to you and everything, and now she feels this way, like her spirit is broken. And you can see it in Ashley's eyes that she was genuinely broken by what they did to her, you know what I mean? And it was sad. And now Brianna comes crawling back, wanting to sit down and talk to Ashley, and she's like, oh my God, you guys, she's so fake. All of a sudden, Brianna likes Ashley's vibe. The past is the past, and she wants to move forward. Like, really, after making an exercise that was supposed to be personal, all about Ashley. Remember, on their first night there, the life coach was like, okay, let's talk about stuff that you, I don't know, want to eliminate from your life or whatever, about yourself. Everybody talked about their own stuff, trust, this, that. And then Brianna decides to start, making Ashley's business her business. And now all of a sudden she's backpedaling and she's like, I like the vibe. Let's move forward. And I vibe with you. Really, really, girl. I don't know. She's so fake. And the way that Ashley just sat there and took it too, she's fake. Jade comes along and she says the exact same thing, and Brianna's trying to be mediator off a fight that she started, right? I just want everything to be okay between you guys. I'm trying to do her voice. She always sounds like she has a frog in her voice or something in her throat. And then Jade is like, I don't really hold grudges. I already got it out. So I am officially over it. And then Ashley's like, okay, we'll squash it. But then in her confessional to us, she then kind of like, is like, oh, well, Jade needed a moment of this or that. Well, girl, say it to her face. Say it to her face if that's what you mean. I don't know. Do you guys think they'll get into another fight again? I don't know. One thing I will say though is that these young girlies are eating up the older girlies on this show. The older girlies are kind of making the younger girlies their storyline, like Macy and Amber and Cheyenne are all trying to act like mentors to these people. Meanwhile, they've got their own issues, right? I don't know. I think that they need to bring their own stuff to the table at this point. Amber did try this episode talking about her situation with Leah and stuff, but I need more of it. What's Matt saying? I wonder what production told them. Yeah, right. Like in the preview, you see Cheyenne flipping tables, which by the way, I hated. So I'm really curious to see how we end up at that point. I believe it has something to do with Fira. Look at the men in here, y'all. We got men in here talking to us about the show. I love it. It's so fun to me when we have guys who watch the show. Yes. Ashley brought it on herself, attacking people online. Yes, that is true. Ashley, she's a keyboard gangster. They're all keyboard gangsters at the end of the day. And she did bring it on herself. She did not need to call Jade's mom a crackhead. That's really disrespectful. Even if Jade's mom is a crackhead, what does that have to do with Ashley? I don't think she ever did anything to Ashley to be called that way. Yeah, and Brianna is totally an instigator. So you guys, I'm really curious. Oh, by the way, yes, Jade's friend Chow was in the background like, oh, I put on my good shoes, my good clothes, getting ready to fight if she needed me. It was a mess. What are you guys looking forward to in this? And how many episodes? Do we know how many episodes we're going to have of this show? I don't know. I just don't know if I like it. Like, it just seems a little bit weird to me. I don't like the way that the older girls are trying to act like mentors to the younger girls when their lives are dumpster fires as well, right? We see Macy's marital issues. We saw her allegedly drinking through her last pregnancy. Cheyenne, we saw her, what I would personally consider to be verbally abusing her now fiance after that like heartbeat listening to situation and the doctor stuff. Amber, she goes without saying, like, what are they doing? Like, mentor to who at the end? I don't know. You guys, thank you so much for all of the love and support. I see all of your wonderful, supportive comments. You are amazing. Thank you so much. You guys, there you go. That does it. A recap of episode 2 of Teen Mom Family Reunions. Again, I wouldn't rate it that high personally. It just felt like a hodgepodge of stuff, right? It just, I don't know. It did not feel very coherent to me. But hopefully, as the season progresses, it gets better. Like you guys said, we are looking forward to Devoyne joining. We are looking forward to Farrah joining. And we are looking forward to seeing Leah's boyfriend and, you know, what it is that he's after at the end of the day. I'm curious about that, man. Let's just say. You guys, again, if you enjoyed this stream, please make sure to give it a thumbs up on the way out. That would be so appreciated, and it would help me make sure that my videos reach you in the algorithm as well. Special thank you to Shannon Dan for moderating this chat. You guys, please subscribe to Shan's channel. She covers pop culture as well, and she is so amazingly good at it. I will see you guys tomorrow for a recap of Kale's Baby Mama's No Dramas podcast. As usual, that is a members only premium co-reporter stream in the live chat. So I pinned my comment so that you guys can sign up for a membership if you would like to join us in the conversation. She wants to get a nose job. She maybe wants to get a boob job. And she shades Joe in front of his wife, V, and V has nothing to say about it because she just wants to get that podcast paper. Mess. Let's get into that tomorrow, okay? Please make sure to sign up, and I will see you tomorrow for that recap. Take care, you guys. Have a good night. Bye.